Moin Leute, I'm in Perth, Western Australia. This episode is going to be interesting because we are meeting some guys who raised more than $200,000 on Shark Tank. Shark Tank is the big brother of Die Höhle der Löwen in Germany. Let's meet the founders of SpacetoCo. Hi there. Hi, Daniel.
Daniel, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Good.
This is Riff, right?
It is, yes. This is Riff, co-working space in Perth.
And the same place is also on your platform, right?
Yes, they have listed a couple of spaces on our platform.
And that's also why you've chosen this space as a workplace for SpacetoCo, right?
They're also an investor. So this is our area here. So I'll just introduce you to Elle, director from New Zealand.
I'm André.
André.
Hi.
Meet you.
And this is Fraser.
Hi,
he works
Fraser.
magic on the keyboard.
The developer, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the coding platform there, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'll just introduce you to Rico and Jeremy. Just wrapping up the folks.
Hello there.
G'day, how you going?
Hi, I'm André.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
And Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's your name?
André.
André.
Hi. Yes.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sweet.
You're alive.
Yeah, a lot. Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, I will put this on YouTube later.
Is it live? No.
No.
You're not streaming live.
Yeah, he'll cut it.
No, it's not a live stream. No, I cut the bullshit out.
It's a cool little
So we can.
So everything we said so far, you got nothing.
Yeah. That's probably right. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, you're right. Yeah. So guys, check this out. This was a high security area back in the days. You can see here this massive steel door where they protected the money, right?
That's it, cash.
Daniel, good to be here in Perth.
Good to have you.
Good to be here
Sunny Perth.
in Riff, where you've been renting a place with SpacetoCo, right? At first, SpacetoCo, is it like a space to co-working, or what does that mean?
It's basically all the co-words. So space to community, space to collaborate, space to co-work. Really, for us, the co-words are really core to our why. Our purpose is to sort of connect people and revitalize local community spaces, underutilized spaces, get them activated again. And connect, and I suppose stimulate local area economies along the way. Oftentimes in a big city, when you sort of Google where you want to do something, whatever it is you want to do, because with SpacetoCo, you've got a whole range of types of venues on the website. You've got
I saw it. I can plan a cooking event.
Yep.
I can book something for my pop-up store, or I just go to a usual co-working space with my team, right? And I can find everything on your site in Australia and New Zealand.
It's a breadth and depth of different types of spaces.
How many venues do you have right now on the platform?
We're at about 800 live venues on the site. So essentially, we've got a whole bunch of results here. In fact, we've got many pages of results. So lots of boardrooms available here in Perth. And so what we can do is, in order to make that process a little bit easier,
I can hold this.
We can actually filter by price or amenities. So if we actually said free parking, that normally knocks out a lot of different attendees. But essentially, once we've settled on a space, we go to it. We take a look.
Secret meeting room. Wow.
Yeah, that's a rooftop one. That one's gorgeous. Do we want a lunch menu?
You also organize catering?
If the host wants to, yep. So we'll have a lunch menu, and now we're in the payment page. And essentially, we're going to send a quick message to our host, hey, coming to see you, here's the price. And because I'm already logged in, it remembers my credit card details. And literally, tick the terms and conditions and request to book, and that's it. It's finished.
And in 2016, you went online with SpacetoCo. So last year, you went on air with Shark Tank. Do you know that there is a similar TV show in Germany?
Yeah.
With another name?
Yeah.
Die Höhle der Löwen. The Cave of the Lions.
Yeah, right.
Translated.
So it's Dragon's Den in the UK and
Dragon's Den,
Shark Tank in the US, I think.
Yeah. And now this TV show is so successful that in so many countries you have the same concept with another name or the same name. I think most of the time they use Shark Tank in also different countries. In the US as well.
Yeah, I think it's Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
I used to love Dragon's Den.
You know, I also said that in the introduction to you guys, this is a really interesting episode for me because I have been talking to many founders who have been on the German show.
Yeah, okay.
And I have these episodes here on my YouTube channel. I think it's about 8 or around 10. Around 10 of these founders, and they told me a lot how this show is going on, what is the emotions, what is the positive, what is the negative thing. So now I'm really excited to talk to the first founder and to the first person who have attended a show of that in another country under the original title Shark Tank.
Yep. Yeah, it was an exciting experience for us. It's pretty intimidating. You know, what they cut down to what ends up being 7 minutes on TV. We stood in front of the sharks for an hour and 15 minutes getting drilled.
Where was it?
Questions.
In Sydney?
Sydney, yep. Yeah.
5-hour flight.
Yeah. Yeah, so you sort of go over and you stay the night in a hotel, and then they take you to the set in the morning and you wait your turn, and you're hanging out in the green room with other guys pitching different things.
What was the most surprising about that show when you attended?
The pace, the frequency of the questions.
Yeah.
You know, we stepped out and you stand in front of the sharks.
You're under rapid fire.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you stand out there for a minute and they're getting all the cameras sort of set. You're just sort of standing there, and then Andrew, the guy in the middle, says, "All right, let's go." And then we got a question from one shark over here, and I just remember thinking to myself, yes, like I know the answer to that question. And then we got another question from somebody else over here, and then one of us, the three of us, stood in front of the sharks. One of us started to answer that question, and she says, "I want my question answered," and he just asked it again louder, and then it was like that for the whole time. It was like question. And I guess, you know, even if a shark is interested in your business, they're probably gonna take a couple bites out of you anyway, just to discourage other sharks from being interested too. You know, it's a funny game for them because they wanna rigor test your business a little bit. At the same time, they don't want to appear too interested because they legitimately are competing amongst each other for deals.
Sure. Yeah. And everyone wants the best deal.
Yeah.
What's important if you go to such a show? What would you advise to other founders?
Know your numbers. Absolutely know your numbers. The number of shows. Having said that, I have to say I'm a lot less critical of those who go on that program now because I know what's going on in the background. I find that I don't shout at the TV as much as I used to, but there are some very critical aspects about your business that you should know before you go on that show, and it's to make sure you understand your month-on-month metrics, make sure that you understand your revenue models, make sure that you understand your customer, make sure that you understand your marketing plan, how you're going to actually go forth and grow, understand your competitors. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you would put in a standard pitch deck that you just need to know right off the bat and be ready with it. It was great fun watching the Google Analytics on the night. We watched the East Coast watch it. And then we had a bit of a viewing party here in Perth, and so we watched the spike.
Is it like because you are 3 hours ahead? No, Sydney is 3 hours ahead of Perth, right?
Yeah.
Is it that they broadcast it to a different time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we watched the spike over east, and then we watched the spike in the west.
Ah,
yeah, it was neat.
You know, I'm from Germany, and you know, even in Europe, it's one time zone.
Yeah.
So, but this is interesting. I never thought about that case.
Yeah.
But it's really another time to broadcast the show on the east and west coast.
We sort of got two hits
in the middle of Australia.
Yeah, it was less of a spike. I think we were
so
busy.
what's the prime time? When do they send this? At 7 or 8 in the evening? Or what's that?
I think it was on about 8. Yeah, maybe
okay.
9. I don't know.
Okay, and then,
I think they swear sometimes, so probably 9.
3 hours before, you were sitting here watching the show and watching your activity monitor.
Yeah, we didn't get to watch the show because we had a viewing party here in Perth.
Yes.
Just up the street at Flux. And so we were entertaining. So we didn't really get to watch it, but we had a computer set up on a TV in the corner at the viewing party.
Yeah.
And so when it came on over there, we kept looking over at the TV, and you could see the spike on the activity.
And was it broadcasted to New Zealand as well, or is it another show?
I think they must have another show. Having said that, you just met our director of New Zealand operations.
Yes.
She contacted us. She was working on a similar concept, and she contacted us because somebody sent her the Shark Tank show.
So all in all, what would you say about the show? Would you go there again?
Oh yeah, I think like I said, we were probably a little bit early, but as we sit here in our socks today, we would definitely have another go. Yeah, absolutely. It's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, I think at that particular time, it really created some focus for us. We needed to get a lot of things ready. You have to change your back-end systems to account for a bunch of traffic, and so you adjust your online package to make sure that you can expand for extra traffic and then contract again. Mm-hmm. You need to make sure that there are appropriate landing pages for communities where there aren't a robust set of results. A landing page that says, hey, we're not here yet, but come back and see us when we're ready, or let us know your email address if you want us to contact you when we do come to your town, that sort of stuff. So there was a lot of prep to be done, but I think that prep was good for the business overall. At the same time, it's a sugar hit.
And what was your biggest fail?
It would have been better to bring our tech in-house earlier than we did. It gets pretty expensive, paying sort of commercial rates for that sort of thing.
Now you have in-house tech?
Now we do, yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you're spinning around an idea in your head, and it's a tech product, and you're not a technical person, go and find a co-founder who's a technical person. That would be my advice.
You could have went on with teaching people, right, in schools. Why did you decide to go this way?
I can't answer for my co-founders, but I think for me personally, I really enjoy a challenge. I like to be challenged often.
Thanks for sharing this inspiring story as well as the experience on Shark Tank. This was very interesting for me compared to the German TV show.
Yeah, cool.
So for the first time I heard this experience. So everything something new for me as well.
That's cool. Well, it's been lovely telling you the story, and thanks for finding our story interesting enough to talk to us.
I will follow you guys.
Cool.
Und damit sind wir raus. Bam!